This was very significant. It made you now think that now Theon has cut all ties to the Starks. It was hard for him, and now we understand that as viewers. We understand that he sacrificed the friendship he had with the Starks in place to get his family back. And it's tough to say that you wouldn't do the same thing in his place, which was a very difficult decision to do. I think despite the repercussions of his actions, he made the right choice of siding with his family, because you really do have to side with your family in this messed up world, because your family's basically the only thing keeping you together. The examples of that are from the Starks, from the Greyjoys, from the Lannisters. They're all the messages in each house are about family, duty, and honor, basically. Now we also see a battle plan folding out that Balon Greyjoy is going to invade the North, which is very surprising, and we'll probably see surprise attacks happening very soon on around the North. And I don't know if you guys caught this, but Balon Greyjoy was actually talking about taking over Harrenhal, which was a location you'll probably see later on. Yeah, it was a great scene with Pike. That's another A+ right there for Pike. It was just great. I love Pike. Actually, you know what? It's my favorite place in Game of Thrones. I love Pike. Moving from Pike, we'll go to King's Landing. Oh, Tyrion, you are the man. Ugh. You can never get enough of Tyrion. Dialogue for him that's written up is spot on, awesome. Peter Dinklage, you are the best actor for Tyrion. If you leave the show, I'm done watching Game of Thrones, because only you could play Tyrion. Thank you. Just wanted to bring that out. Now, the reason I say this is because of the sheer smart thinking he did in manipulating the council to find out who was the snitch. If you didn't get this, Tyrion told 3 different council members that he would be sending Marjorie Lannister to be married to 3 different locations. One of which was in Dorne, which he told the old man. One of which was to Theon Greyjoy, which he told Varys, and one of which was to the Vale, which was Jon Arryn's wife. Now we see the real person who has been betraying the hands of the king since the very beginning, and that one was Pycelle. Pycelle, the old man, the old master of potions for King's Landing. He told the queen about Marjorie being married off to the Dornish, and we also learned that Pycelle has also betrayed Jon Arryn when he found out that Jon Arryn knew about the incest between Cersei Lannister and Jaime Lannister. He didn't kill Jon Arryn. I repeat, Pycelle did not kill Jon Arryn. He only made it his death. He did not treat his death. That's what he said. He didn't kill the hand, but he didn't help him either. So he's just as guilty as killing him, I think. We see Cersei's reaction to this of Marjorie, her daughter, being married to the Dornish, and Tyrion even says that he actually is doing it. So Marjorie is actually being married to the Dornish, and if you didn't know, the Dornish are a country right next to the Tyrells. So we'll see that play out later in the future. We saw good dialogue between Cersei and Tyrion about, and we also see how Cersei is very protective of her children. We saw it through Joffrey, but now we're also seeing it through her 2 younger ones, Marjorie Lannister and Tommen Lannister. Now, Tyrion gets rid of Pycelle, but he also gets rid of another council member, if you didn't pick this up. He gets rid of Littlefinger by convincing Littlefinger twice in the same episode that that he should go see Lady Stark, and Tyrion knows that once you talk about Lady Stark, Catelyn Stark, to Littlefinger, that's his weakness right there, because Littlefinger is in love with Catelyn Stark. Going back to season 1, we know that they had a romance in their childhood that Littlefinger hasn't gotten over. And we even see towards the end of season 1 that he says he's saving himself for someone special. I think that's Catelyn Stark. We'll see him trying to negotiate terms to trade Jaime Lannister for the 2 girls that belong to Catelyn Stark. So now Tyrion only has Varys to deal with, and Cersei. Those are the 2. Those are the 2. And then after that, that's it. He has total control. Alright, moving from King's Landing, we are going to the King's Road. We see Arya towards the end of the episode, with like 14 minutes left, I think, or something like that. We see Arya sharpening needle, and I have to say, her character progression is very impressive in this whole series put together. We saw her becoming, just off the boat, a spontaneous, rambunctious little girl, to now becoming sort of a cold-blooded killer, if you look at her. She's sharpening her sword, and she even has great dialogue with Yoren, which was leader of the Watch to bring everyone to the Wall, and was the protector of Arya. We see great dialogue between her and Yoren, and Arya asks how he sleeps at night. This relates to Arya not sleeping at night because of all the death she sees. She even talks about how she sees her father dead, everyone who helped her father out dead. There's no way she'll get him back, and she has to live with that loss. We see Yoren kind of sympathizing and telling a story of how he got revenge for the person who killed his brother after doing this little prayer of revenge every night, saying the killer's name over and over again. And it was eerie. I love how they don't do any flashbacks in Game of Thrones. I love it how it's just pure dialogue when they tell their stories. That is what makes the episode for me. And even though Pike was a great scene between that dialogue, the dialogue between Yoren and Arya was my favorite dialogue in Season 2 so far. That was just spot on. I loved it so much. I just wish we got to know Yoren's character a little bit more, because right after that scene, we get the Lannister men coming back with reinforcements that were from last episode, storming through, capturing everybody, and after Yoren fights and kills like 4 of these soldiers, he gets a sword rammed through his spine, which I have to say is the kill of the episode. I have to give that props. That's the kill of the episode. The first kill of the episode. We see Arya getting captured and Gendry. Once again, they look for Gendry, and just when you think Arya is about to sell out Gendry, sitting right next to him, she puts together this plan, saying that the boy who really is Gendry, you killed him. Basically, she says, because we see the bull's helmet sitting right next to the blonde-haired boy that they just killed, which was a very brutal way of killing that blonde-haired boy, shoving that dagger, needle, Arya's sword, right through the kid's neck as they were giving him a handshake to lift him up. That was just brutal, man. I've read that in the books, but I mean, it was just brutal to watch that in the show. I have to say that the whole scene played out differently than it did in the books. Not to be nitpicky, I thought they did a great job in the show. That was awesome. And the books played out differently. They actually stayed in the barn, which was actually smarter in the books than they were in the show. Yoren just kind of went outside and said, "We're not taking your shit." I thought he would have been smarter than that and stayed in the barn, but I guess they just wanted to add a dramatic effect, which worked, and moved along the plot much more. Arya was not captured in the books right then and there. They found a compartment which allowed them to escape, but then they were just captured again, so it didn't really matter after that in the books. So I can see why they moved on. So that had no issue with me at all. So this was a great episode, I think. Overall, the positives of this episode were Pike is definitely the dialogue between Theon and Balon Greyjoy and Pike. The scenery we saw in Pike with him being baptized in the water. Tyrion's deviant plan to secure more power and eliminate Pycelle and also Littlefinger. And finally, Arya's dialogue with Yoren. I have to say, the dialogue in this show was great, spot on. I loved it. It was beautiful, I have to say. This episode was a work of art. I have to give this episode an 8.5 out of 10. The reason I do this is because some negative aspects was Yoren's character. Even though he was awesome, we only saw him for such a short time, and I think as fans we deserve to have more of those experience and dialogue scenes with him, because he was such a good character, and I thought that his death, although it was entertaining at the end to watch him stick up for Arya, was kind of, it didn't have that dramatic effect, I think, because it wasn't like Syrio Forel's death, because we got to see Syrio Forel and Arya bond over time. We didn't get that. We only saw Arya bond with Yoren one scene, and that was it. So I was a little disappointed in that. I was a little disappointed in the amount of content that was provided for us in the Night's Watch. They need to move that plot along. They've been in Craster's Keep too much, and I know they're moving in the episode, but they didn't really do much at all. That the Night's Watch, Yoren, those are my two biggest gripes to the episode. Also, the lack of plot movement in this episode. Even though it was great dialogue, it's still setting up the scenes, which will be in the better episodes to come. Like 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, I think. Once you get to 5, halfway mark, that's when you have to end this building up. You got to move the plot along, I think. And this episode felt more like moving the plot along. So it wasn't like amazing. It was great, though. I have to say it was great. So that's my gripes. That's it. Okay, well, thank you for watching. This has been a Rob41593's video review. Please subscribe and like this video. Your comment, feedback is very appreciated. It helps me do my job. It helps me want to keep on doing this, is what I'm saying. Thank you for just giving me your comments and feedback. It really helps. If you subscribe to my channel and share your videos to me, I will play them at the end of my video and advertise for your channel on my videos. So that's a little incentive to subscribe to me, guys. So just, keep on watching. I'll be here. I'll keep on sending these reviews, and maybe after Season 2, I'll review Season 1. Maybe. Alright, thank you. This is Rob4193, signing off.